From the Ticats Audio Network, this is Ticats Today with Brayden Neville.
On today's episode, the CFL honor roll for last week is out, and 3 Ticats have been given honors for the week, including Stavros Katsantonis, who we'll hear from later on in the show. Coach O discusses the honorees and preparing for the final home game. Will Sunderland sits down with me to discuss his emergence into the Ticats lineup and the path he took to get to the CFL. And Tim White discusses closing out the season strong and chasing number 1 in receiving yards in the CFL. It's Wednesday, October 11th, 2023, and you're listening to Ticats Today. The Ticats were back at practice today for day 3 of this shortened week, getting ready for Friday's matchup with the BC Lions, and they will look to repeat the game they had last time these two teams met, the only meeting of the season when the Ticats beat the Lions 30-13 in a game where the Ticats were really a heavy underdog, and at that point in the season, they weren't exactly winning many games, but it was that game that really turned the tide on the Ticats season, because since the win, they've gone 5-2 in this last half of the year, although these two teams had opposite starts to the season, the Ticats 0-3 and the Lions 3-0. Both teams have identical 8-5 records over the last 13 games. A few Ticats will be looking to continue their performance from the last week's game and have even received honors from the CFL on this week's honor roll. Nick Cross received his second honor on special teams, finishing the game last week with a 91.5 rating. Omar Bayless had the best game of his CFL career with 51 yards receiving, but 2 touchdowns and a 73.9 rating. And Stavros Katsantonis had yet another great game with that big pick and 4 tackles. He ended up with an 84.1 rating with PFF. The one thing these 3 guys have in common is that they were players that have broken out in their respective roles this season, and Bayless and Katsantonis weren't starting on offense and defense to start the season. But once again, we see another example of the waiting room and the guys getting an opportunity to step up and make an impact, and that's what those 2 guys have done, and Nick Cross has been excellent on that special teams. Coach O spoke about some of the Ticats getting recognition today.
The Ticats get recognition. I think it's a positive thing, and usually means we've probably done something. Usually show up in the W column, so that's the most important thing. I know it's the ultimate team sport, and recognizing individuals along the journey is okay, but definitely not the focus. But I can't say enough about all of them, right? And I would say that probably with anybody who won. So for them, great recognition, but we're on to the next. The past is the past. Love for them to be on honor roll this upcoming week.
I'm going to be talking to Will Sunderland. What can you say about what he's done since stepping into that starting roster?
Well, I can just say he was patient in the waiting room for us. And, we always like to say that at some point you'll be seen. And are you going to be ready for it? And, Will was with us last year, gained some valuable experience, albeit only 1 game, but he did practice with us, got familiarized with the league, the motion and that sort of thing. So to say that I'm surprised when he got his opportunity probably be a little bit misleading, but he has done, a decent job, but, we're going to have our hands full this week and down the stretch. It only gets tougher. It doesn't get any easier.
Given the momentum this team's been riding over the last several games, is it almost a good thing, do you feel like, that you have a little bit of a shorter turnaround between these 2 games?
Coaching-wise, I don't mind short turnarounds, especially at home. Playing, I do think that there is value in rest. Even though they're going to get a couple of quick checks, there's still the body at this time of the year. I do think rest is important, or being as fresh as you possibly can. Yeah, and you value that a little bit, but at the same time, they still have an opportunity. And that's about as far as I go to other people's teams. We went out there. I know they'll be chomping at the bit to get back at us for that. Not as sole motivation, but a small piece. What happened last week is last week. I know that you turn on the tape, you see 3 phases well coached. They play hard. They're very talented in all 3 facets of the game. So just like every week in this league, you got to be ready to play. Vernon is he's found a home, I think, and he's done a phenomenal job, and Jordan's done a great job as the OC there, and giving him stuff that he can handle. They're a vertical passing team. They're going to be down the field. There's no secrets about it. They trust their people, and they're extremely creative in how they do it. And VA's been able to get him the football. And when it's not there, he'll take off. He still has that ability. I know he's racking up the passing yards, but he still can take off and hurt you. And it's really about when you allow that to happen, right? They're gonna get their passing yards. He's gonna get some scramble yards, but is it on key second downs, or is it just on the odd first down?
That was Coach O. Stavros Katsantonis has been continuing his strong campaign and was honored for his efforts for the first time by the CFL this week. Since entering the starting roster back in Week 6, Katsantonis has been able to really solidify himself on that Ticats defense and has quickly risen among the CFL leaders in interceptions with 5, making him second in the league. Pretty good for a guy who didn't start on defense for the first several games of the season. Stavros spoke to me today about finishing the season strong and his ability to make picks.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, those things are obviously cool. Obviously, with new things coming in the league like PFF, Genius Sports. So always cool to be a part of something like that. But at the end of the day, getting the win was probably the most satisfying thing from this past week.
You're now second in the league in interceptions. Is that a number that you would like to see improve these next couple of games?
Yeah, I mean, you always want to see individual stats go up, but at the end of the day, there's nothing better than winning. So if that contributes to that's awesome. But at the end of the day, I just want to win along with the rest of my teammates.
This secondary has been playing very, very well and this last couple of games. But why do you think that is? Why do you think that everything seems to have been clicking, especially the second half of the season?
Yeah, I mean, we just have really good coaching staff that, like I said, they just prepare us each week. We got guys that believe in each other in the room, and we got veteran guys mixed in with younger guys and in between as well. So there's easy guys to lean on in there for questions or things like that maybe a guy that's a rookie may not understand, and those guys have come a long way this season, and we've just been gelling really good together, playing well, and that's been showing on the field.
Now going up against a BC team that likes to throw the ball and has a guy like Vernon Adams, a potential MOP, what do you need to do to contain them and limit their success through the air?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we know Vernon's a really good quarterback. He's leading the league in a lot of stat categories, as is their offense. So, for us, it's no different on how we prepare. Just being top down, making sure we're locked in, playing assignment football, and at the end of the day, just executing when our play is right there and in front of us. So, just making our plays when they come to us, and at the end of the day, just the biggest thing is to be having that crowd involved for us, and they always give us a little bit of extra energy on the field.
That was Stavros Katsantonis. Tim White is another guy who's risen up the stat leaderboards this season. He currently sits second in the league in receiving yards with 1,157 yards and is tied for first in 100-yard receiving games with 5. Tim White spoke about his statistics and finishing the season off with a bang.
Yeah, no, for sure. Definitely look at and track that stuff. Obviously, just thankful for the opportunity, thankful to even be in that position. So, it's something I look at, but winning comes first.
You're also on pace to at least match, or if not do better than your receiving yard total from last year. Is that another thing, another goal you've also looked at?
Yeah, I definitely, before the season, put a lot of those things into perspective and put it on the goal list for sure. So I look to do better than what I did last year. So, yeah.
And one more statistic, but you're currently leading the league in the 100-yard games. What can you say about your ability to have those big games and those big yardage games?
Yeah, I would just say, just trusting the coaches, trusting them to put us in, the right position, and then just trusting my teammates, understand that they're going to get their blocks, they're going to make their throws. So it's definitely a team thing, when it comes to that. And then when I get the ball, just try to do the most that I can with it.
And then having Bo back on the field last weekend, what was it like to have him back and his presence around the rest of the guys?
Yeah, big leadership. He brings a lot of experience to the game. So, a lot of guys, they're just locked in on, some of the smaller details of the game and our system and everything. So it's real nice having him back. It's fun.
A lot of the guys have been able, on this receiving corps, have been able to contribute this season. And just for example, Omar Bayless just named to the honor roll. But how much does that help you, having those other guys who defenders have to keep an eye out for?
Yeah, no, it's big. Having guys, on the field who can make their play, that's super important, and that's definitely one of the things we preach around here is just make our play. So seeing guys make their play and it makes the game fun. It's enjoyable, and it definitely takes a lot of weight off.
Then one final question, going up against BC, a team that's battling for first in the West. What do you need to do to produce some points here and get a victory?
Yeah, we just have to continue to execute, do what we do, and when the ball's in our hands, just make a play and just go out there and have some fun.
That was Tim White. It'll be fun to see if he can close out the season at number one in any of those two categories. Will Sunderland has been a recent success to the Ticats secondary over the last 2 games and has been putting Ticats fans on notice with what he's been able to do in this Ticats secondary. Since making his first start of the season against Calgary a week and a half ago, he's been lights out. He sat down with me today to discuss making the most of his recent opportunity and spoke a little bit about his journey to the CFL.
Oh man, I just take every day and just approaching each day, like it's my last. I've been in this professional business for a long time, and I've been cut from teams, so I just know what it takes every day and day in and day out. So every day I'm on that field, I just go hard.
When you first got into football, what was it that made you love the sport and want to play football?
Man, it's just the physicality, man. It's just just growing up watching Sean Taylor.
Okay.
Just watching him, just knocking people's heads off, and just getting the ball, man. It's just it just look fun out there, just attacking people, just getting the ball back and celebrating with the team, and like they say, defense win games. So just playing the defensive side is just amazing feeling, and especially just game of football too as well.
So watching him, kind of, that was what made you say, hey, I want to be a defensive player. So there was nothing in you that was like, I want to play offense, or always defensive minded?
I play offense, both sides of high school, man. But it's just bringing the contact.
Yeah.
It's that different feeling. Instead of
Something
just
about
looking
hitting
for
a
it.
guy.
Yeah. Instead of looking for it, you go to the guy in
Yeah.
contact. So so that was one of the reasons why I play defense.
In high school, you must have had a good high school career because you go to Oklahoma.
Mm-hmm.
But what was it like? When did you figure out that there was an option for you to go to college ball, and where did that all come about of you going to Oklahoma?
I was really after my freshman year of high school.
Mm-hmm.
I used to play baseball, football, and track, and it's like something just clicked after my freshman year. It's just like it just clicked because like we went like undefeated my freshman year, the freshman team, but it just clicked, man. And after that I just ran with it. So yeah.
When did the offers start to come in?
The offers came. I got my first offer. It was really because a lot of offers was on hold after during the sophomore season.
Mm-hmm.
I had Oklahoma State, Arkansas, Ohio State. They was gonna offer me my sophomore year, but they just, because at that time I was a basketball body, so I was like skinny or whatever. So like I had to like put on a couple pounds, really like hit the weights to show them that like I'm not just a skinny safety.
Yeah, I'm serious about football.
Yeah. So really my sophomore year, after my sophomore year, that's when the offers start coming.
That's pretty early. And what made you decide to choose Oklahoma out of high school?
I chose them because at that time, Bob Stoops, Mike Stoops, his brother, and Kel Gundy. At that time, Kel Gundy is from Milwaukee City.
Okay.
And they used to come almost like every other week to the school and just give me the playbook. And like I knew, I'm like, okay. And plus,
they were subtly trying to get you.
Yeah. They was just handing my coach Sexton the playbook, and it's like they knew I was going there because every other weekend I'm always down there at the football games. Then my daddy big OU fan, so it was like people kind of knew whatever. So
they trusted you. If they're giving you the playbook, you could go and like sell.
Yeah, I didn't have no choice. It's like, man, I might as well commit, whatever. But
And then that first moment you played college ball, I guess that would probably been your first taste, or just being around a college facility anyways.
Yeah.
What was that transition like for you?
Man, it was just a big difference from, for just the high school that I went to than just go to the University of Oklahoma. It was different, but just the football style of playing and stuff, like it was really the same because my high school did the same defense as OU, so the playbook was the same, but outside of that, it was real.
It's almost
different.
like they groomed you for that for Oklahoma.
You then decide to play pro football. Mm-hmm. You spent a little bit of time in the NFL and in training camps and that. But I want to talk about your jump to the CFL. When did that come about that the CFL was an option for you?
Oh, it was after 2021 season.
Okay.
Literally, it was after I got done with the Falcons. I was at home, working out, chilling, just waiting for that call like everybody else. And my agent called and was just like, how you feel about the CFL? I was like, can I go to the league out of the CFL? He said, yeah. I was like, okay. Like, I wasn't even worrying about I got to go to Canada or whatever, this and that. Man, it was just like, I just love the game of football, man. And Hamilton, man, they just took a shot on me, and like they believed in me when they brought me in. Spence, that's my guy right there, man. He, he believed in me since day one. He got me up here, and he just told me just go hard every day. My time will come, and I took his word for that. It been some ups and some downs, but I just gotta just put my foot on the gas and keep pushing. Then eventually my time came, and I'm rolling with it until the wheels fall off.
Especially right now, you've really been rolling with it. The transition for some guys from America to Canada, not just the game itself, but what was it like for you to come and live in Canada? Because had you spent much time in Canada before? No. So what was it like transitioning to moving to a different country and Canada?
Oh man, it was a big difference because I love all my snacks, and Canada they don't
got the same snacks.
Yeah, they don't have none of the snacks. So I mean, I've been going all across the map and stuff like that. But I mean, Canada is a good country. I didn't expect Canada to be like this.
Yeah.
Hamilton, this kind of remind me of my hometown back at home, so it's kind of similar ways. I mean, but
like the smaller town,
facts.
Like a city, but it's hardworking class kind of thing.
But I don't feel like I'm far away from home.
Yeah,
so that's the good thing, because when I went to Troy, I knew I was 12 hours away from home. I'm like, I'm far away from home, but when I'm up here, I feel like I'm just right down the road.
Yeah,
and that's a good feeling though, because Hamilton feel like family to me.
Feels like home.
Yeah, feel like home. Definitely.
And when you're not playing football, what are you doing in your spare time for fun?
Oh man, I'm a big movies guy.
Okay.
Man, I watch Lupin.
Okay.
Man, I'm a big movies guy.
Yeah.
Man, I like to watch TV shows. If I ain't watching TV, I like to go bowling.
Yeah, okay, bowling. So there's a lot of guys on the team that like to bowl. But who are you bowling with on the team? Is Lawrence Woods one of those guys?
Woods,
yeah.
yes.
Because I've heard a lot
Number
about
one
him.
prospect.
Okay.
Yeah. Number one enemy.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get him, man, because, he got the custom ball. He cheating,
He's got
but
the custom
I ain't saying
ball.
nothing. Yeah. But yeah, man, he got the custom ball. He got the custom shoes.
Yeah.
He got the little hand wrap too. I'm like, yeah, man. But yeah, bowling.
We know Lawrence Woods. He could be a pro football player and a pro bowler.
Bowl at the same time.
At the same time. All right, so we got a big couple of games coming up here. You've been pushed into a really important role, and you've been doing a tremendous job at that role. How do you continue your play, help get this team into a spot where you can be successful in the playoffs?
Man, just like Coach O said, do your job. And, everybody got a role to play, and just play your best role as you can, and everything is going to fall in place. But at the end of the day, everybody got to do their job to make everybody else to make plays, easy plays. Yeah. But at the end of the day, everybody got to do their job, just communicate, and, eventually everybody going to make a play.
That was Will Sunderland. Before we go, Ticats fans, I need to talk about a place that's near and dear to my heart, Niagara Falls, Ontario. Before I moved to the great city of Hamilton, which I love, I lived in the Falls, and it's such an amazing place to be. I'll always love it, and there's no better time to book your spontaneous overnight getaway to Niagara Falls, Canada than right now. So go to NiagaraFallsTourism.com for details. The autumn and winter seasons are always filled with excitement and so much to do in the fall. So make sure to go out and book your getaway. That's all the time for me today. I want to thank you for listening to Ticats Today.